Okay, despite having just had cataract surgery and recovering from that, I perseverated. I found video of Dr. Carl Hart with his eyebrows and face just out of control. And this is from 2015, London Real. I've got another one of him from a couple years ago, speaking, I think, at Boston College. And the show was put on, it was turned into a show and put on WGBH Boston. Sorry for the lousy audio here. The coffee machine's clicking. I got Camel on in the background. I got the London Real interview with Hart. The furnace or the, I don't know what that is, but the thing that provides heat, that makes some sounds. Got a fan going on because as an Aspie, I can hear the electricity running through the walls. So the fan blocks that out. But anyway, I'm just showing back up here now to let it be known that I did perseverate. I am still perseverating. I can't stop thinking about how demented psychiatry is, how everything is a drug addict investigation. You try that. You have a toothache, you go into the hospital, and you see how they grill you to make sure you're not just in there looking for pills. Go in with a bad back, go in with anything, and just see how they will treat you like a criminal. So in the episode with Joe Rogan, I don't know if the brightness on the monitor was too low to protect my eyes. I put the brightness back up. Sometimes I take a break and my eye tears up. But other times it feels pretty good, like right now. And I can see that I'm gonna see again without any difficulty, eventually. But anyway, that's why I've come back, because this is not right. It's the right thing for me to try to provide this truth, that this is wrong in every way, and that if you think this is right, if you think these guys are legit, then you go right ahead and take all those drugs, the Xanax, the whatever you want, you take it. Cocaine, Xanax, Molly, see, I just smoke weed. I don't even drink alcohol. Drunks end up with tardive dyskinesia. So yeah, if you think these guys are legit, you go right ahead and F up your faces. It is permanent when that happens. Maybe the young people can recover and their brain, they recover enough from it where the tardive dyskinesia goes away or it gets very manageable. But the older the person is, you put them on those psychiatric pills, or if they're in a cocaine or any of this stuff that does that, they're going to get tardive dyskinesia. And it's embarrassing. It's shameful. It shouldn't be. I've said that they're victims. So now here we have these maggots called Joe Rogan, the London Real guy, and this Dr. Carl Hart. They're maggots. There's no other word. And earlier in the interview with the London Real, he's described as a former hustler. So I would not be surprised if Dr. Carl Hart is the proverbial confidential informant. He was talking about how he had already been on Joe Rogan's show back in 2015. This is not a new story. This is all about blurring the lines between heroin, cocaine, and the psychiatric drugs. Because they want no liability for effing up these psychiatric patients. They should have been psychology patients, because psychiatry has never been proven as legit. They never proved that the chemical imbalance theory is correct. They did the backwards route to science. They didn't prove it. They just started implementing. So that's why I've showed up yet again, despite eye pain, to provide this public service. Oh, that's yellow. Mr. Blue Sky? I love that. So yeah, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to give anyone a complex. I feel really bad about psychiatric patients. I feel so bad about all that stuff. And that's why I perseverate on it. Because I do believe in reincarnation, and I do not want to come back and be put on those pills. I want those pills to all be rounded up and burned and destroyed and outlawed. I'm not saying lock people up for being into cocaine or heroin or anything. I do believe that drugs should be decriminalized, but they should also be just banished and done away with. They're not helpful. I'm a little sick and tired of rigged internet, rigged education, rigged society, scumbags like Joe Rogan, Mike Baker. Just trash, utter trash. This guy, Dr. Carl Hart, he's human garbage. What's that guy's name? Brian Rose from London Real? They're all the scum of the earth. So I'm warning everyone out there to not buy into any shit. I don't care if you're at an 8th level for education. I heard some drug addict shrink guy, he's got like 600 views or something. I left some comments on his page. He obviously, basically there's this guy on YouTube, and he calls himself Dr. B, I think, or for addiction. And basically he peddles drugs. But he's very adult about peddling the drugs, and he thinks Dr. Carl Hart is spreading a dangerous message that maybe it's okay for him as a seasoned college doctoral professor to be a heroin addict, but that most people are at an 8th grade education and cannot handle it. I also noticed that Carl Hart likes to point out he likes to throw marijuana into the same batch with all this other stuff. So my conclusion is that Joe Rogan was hired into the CIA. That's how he became famous. He's got no talent at all. The only thing Rogan can do is be himself without being nervous. That's not talent. That's not acting. He had no real acting career. He played himself on that sitcom News Radio. He was given leads in a sitcom that bombed. But how did he get that job? It's because he was in the CIA. How does all these people end up on Joe Rogan? How does a CIA agent like Mike Baker end up on Joe Rogan freaking every other month? So boycott all this crap. Go with nonviolent anarchy. Do not listen to trash. Listen to your Uncle Tokyo Shemp, who realizes that none of us get out of this alive, that authority is wrong, it's been debunked, psychiatry should be abolished, I've proven that. If I was given pills, oh man, I'd hate to be the person who screwed me over. I've been screwed over a lot in my life, but I tend to not hold grudges. I'm a nonviolent anarchist. I realize that there's no way to really fight back. There's nothing going on. You got fake, progressive YouTube shows. That's all fake. They throttle real people like myself. I'll leave it at that. This has been a bit longer than the other video. I'm probably not going to edit too much, so I might not edit at all because I need to take it real easy using my eye. I hope this has provided some debate, some raw emotion for myself to warn others to stay away from cocaine, heroin, any drug. And even if, with marijuana, if you're a kid listening in somehow, stay away from marijuana too. Wait until you're 18. Don't even do it at 18. I mean, the brain keeps developing until you're 22. So if you really want to be an adult, you kind of have to wait until you're 22, 23. And then you'll know that the brain has stopped moving around. It stopped growing. It stopped growing. There's no other word for it. So trust your Uncle Tokyo Shemp. And I wish everyone well, but that there is evil in the world, and that the most obvious evil in the world are the Joe Rogans, all the TV personalities, the Hollywood, all the journalists, the newspapers. There might be some exceptions out there, but for the most part, this world is garbage. We're oppressed. Intellectually, a lot of us know what's going on. I do not actually believe most people are at an 8th grade level. It's got to be at least 10th grade. But I do imagine that most people are not that bright, and because everything is rigged, that even if they are bright, I do think we're bright. I think we're born bright. It doesn't matter what our IQ is or our talent level. For the most part, nearly every single one of us is bright. One doesn't have to be extra bright to know what's going on. So I tend not to blame people for not knowing what's going on and for becoming victims. I do not blame them. Just be a proud survivor, and let's try to fix this up. I don't know how we're going to do that. Maybe the thing to do to start doing that is to just quit the internet. I talk about it, but I don't mean the internet. I mean quit really tightening down what we're watching, what we're thinking about. This eye surgery has given me an opportunity to get off of that watching H.A. Goodman crap. I'm going to just stop watching him. It's really kind of scary to watch him after a while. He's back doing that live stream. He's looking for the free money. He can't just be happy with the paycheck he gets from the front group. I imagine all that is tied to the Five Eyes rather than FBI. It just seems with the Aunt Bibi and Creighton and some of these other people, Elwood, Jimmy Dore, it seems a bit bigger than a basic Hal Turner run operation. It's very complex. It's very elaborate, which is complex. I couldn't find the second word I wanted to use. Okay, I'll stop there because I'm pretty much heading toward the 15-minute mark, and YouTube lets us go to 15 minutes. I don't have a phone to verify to be able to have unlimited minutes. Hopefully some of this made sense. I did notice that Dr. Carl Hart is trying to hide his tardive dyskinesia. I have found it. I have located it. He can play around with camera angles. He can hide behind the skirts of his PhD and prestigious professor job at Columbia. I bet he was planted. Joe Rogan is a CIA agent. Period. He fits the profile. There's no way around. Condemning Joe Rogan. He's to be condemned as a maggot. So in conclusion, beyond the Carl Hart thing, Joe Rogan is utter trash. I hate the guy's guts. I probably hate Joe Rogan more than any other person in the world. And if you like him, if you respect him, if you're watching that crap, you need to wake up. You need to grow up. That guy will destroy your nephew. He'll destroy someone you love. And then you'll come back to me. Well, you won't come back to me, but you might remember hearing what I said about Rogan, and you'll say, okay, you were right about Rogan.